We're back out here at the Big Lake once again, and today we're talking about those lures, tips, and techniques those bass are absolutely smashing on cloudy days. Stick around, you don't want to miss this one. We've got rain coming in. It's really hard. Oh. Got him. Oh, that's probably the nicest one today. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, that's a really good fish, kids. Don't you get in that grass. And here is this video's featured comment. Congratulations! If you would like to have a chance to have your comment featured in an upcoming video, all you've got to do is leave a comment. And now, on with the video. Welcome back to Lowbrow Fishing. And in a recent video, we talked about how those bass don't like a lot of flash and a lot of noise on sunny days. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link to it in the description. Go check it out. It's very, very informative. It covers a lot of things that I see anglers doing wrong on sunny days, on those bright bluebird skies that are costing them bites. Now, conversely, on days that are cloudy, now that's when we can break out those baits that have a little bit more flash to them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we need to go uber super loud. It's like how we were talking about on those sunny days. You'll see guys break out the chatterbaits, the big blades, flashing all over the place, and that scares the fish away. Now, today, we can break out those smaller chatterbaits and start there. You know, a lot of times I may actually still be doing the old Sharpie trick and coloring in that blade, dulling it down some. It depends on the cloud cover. If we've got a good bit of cloud cover and the water has some stain to it, then I don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and let that blade flash. But if we've got, you know, some clear, gin clear water and we've got just a little bit of cloud cover with no wind, chances are I'm going to be coloring in that blade. So what am I going to be throwing on a day like today? Well, like we talked about before, you know, I've got this guy right here. This is a Lucky Craft classical leader. It's a little medium deep diving crankbait, and you can see, you know, it's pretty beat up. This thing put in work for me today. As a matter of fact, it was doing so well. Today was just a great day on the water. I did not want to come up off the water, but I had to. You know, I was catching fish. It was one of those great days when you get out there and you're catching fish. It was a cloudy day. I was able to use these types of baits, these baits that have flash. Now, granted, they're not exceptionally loud. They don't have a whole bunch of rattle to them, but they do have a good bit of flash. And the reason that is because that water was still fairly clear. We had some clear water. I didn't need them to be loud because I wanted to do that very visual presentation. But, you know, that classical leader by Lucky Craft, I picked it up at Ollie's for like $4, and those things are, I think, $10 or $11 or more online. So I really lucked out with that bait. And that bait really put in a lot of work for me, especially today, as it was able to catch me some really nice fish. And there's a bug in the... There we go, I got him. That one feels good. That feels... Oh, that feels good. I knew that was a good one. I gotta get you... Oh, he went after it too. Look at that. Look at that gorgeous fish. Look at that. Just exactly what I was talking about. He went after it. T-boned it. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. On the classical leader. We sure do appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much for playing. Appreciate that. All right, let's go catch another one. Okay, that was one presentation that was working well. That's one that we've talked about in the past. As those clouds come in and maybe a little bit of wind, maybe a little bit of current is going, something like that is going to work great. And another one, again, you're going to think I'm a broken record, but the old hard jerkbait. This is a KVD 200. This is the chrome one, and you can see how chewed up this thing is. Again, this was putting in work for me today. I caught so many fish on this thing today. I think I caught 5 or 6 good fish on this particular bait today. I mean, I didn't even have to cut and retie. I tied this on, and this is what I went with, and this is what those fish were after. In the last video, we talked about how when we see fish blowing up, a jerk bait is a great bait to throw into there to get those bites. Well, today I was doing the exact same thing, except this is the bait that I was using because we have a lot of cloud cover today. We had quite a bit of cloud cover. We had some rain yesterday, and we've got some rain blowing in right now, so I'm trying to get this recorded before I get wet because I can see it right there. But either way, this is the bait that I had tied on, and you know, it was just one of those days where it just worked. I kept getting fish after fish. Now, I did lose one fish, and that was my fault. I hooked into it, I tried to horse it into the boat, and I ended up losing it. Okay, I've got the old chrome KVD 200 jerkbait on, and I'm working it the same way I was working it before. You know, whenever I'm seeing bass busting, or, you know, and we were seeing bass bust right in this particular area. But on a day like today, when I've got a lot more cloud cover, you know, we've got some cloud cover that's coming in pretty good. Get in there. Tell me I made that cast. There we go, I got him. Oh, that feels good. That feels pretty good, kids. Stay down. Stay down. He's a ways out there. I'm going to ski him in. Ah, fuddy-duddy. Ah, that was on me. That one was 100% on me. So that was my fault. But one of the great things, one of the absolute best things that happened to me in a while, you know, we dream about it, don't we? We're heading back to the boat ramp, and you think, you know what, that spot right there, I got a feeling about that spot. I'm going to make one cast. I'm going to make one cast into that spot, and then I've got to put the boat on the truck, right? Well, that's what I did today, and boy, did it ever pay off. We've got rain coming in. It's really hard. Got him. Oh, that's probably the nicest one today. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, that's a really good fish, kids. Don't you get in that grass. Come here, you. Oh, yeah, come here, you. Oh, yeah, buddy. Look at that sucker. Oh, yeah, baby. Made that last cast with that jerkbait, and it sure paid off. It darn sure paid off. With that KVD jerkbait. Caught this nice chunky fatty, almost 3 pounds, not quite 3 pounds. Beautiful fish. Thank you so much for playing. We sure do appreciate it. Thank you. And you have a nice day. We will see you later. So how amazing was that? The biggest fish I caught today was one of those random last cast fish that I did, you know, with the old chrome jerkbait here. You know, the clouds were coming up in the sky. I threw that old KVD jerkbait in there, and I caught a very nice fish. She was just shy of 3 pounds, and that was the nicest fish all day. Now, we'd been catching 2-pounders. I caught one 2.2 pounds, but anything from 1.5 to 2 pounds was about what we were catching today. And you know, like I've said before, I will take those all day long. But when it comes to fishing those cloudy days, that's when I'm looking for something that's got a little bit more flash. That's when I'm looking for something that's got a little bit more movement to it, you know, something to sparkle and then dart and trigger that bass's reaction strike instinct. And I even started the day more to the north fishing one of these because I wanted to get, that pearlescence, that reflective nature that's in the water. We went up to the northern part of the lake and I just fished a weightless jerkbait, a weightless soft plastic jerkbait like we had talked about doing before. And I was catching some nice fish on that, on just this cream, right? These are $1.25. We've talked about these cheap ones before, but that pearlescence was really shining in the water. I was able to catch some nice fish doing that. Because I saw fish jumping in there. And that's a little bit, a little bit too hairy for the old hard jerkbait. There we go, I got him. Oh, he feels good. Get out of there, you. Get out of there. I'm gonna horse your ass. I'm gonna horse you. Aha! Boy, you are a chunky little thing. So that is another one on the old fluke. This is the smallest one, but he's fat. He got a fat belly on this guy. So he's going about a pound, a little north of a pound. Thank you, buddy. That's 3. So, all in all, it was a very spectacular day. I'm going to have to go back and look through the footage before I can count how many fish I caught. I lost count. It's somewhere between 13 and 16. I've been out here about 2 hours, so it's been somewhere between 13 and 16 fish. I'm going to have to go back and look at the footage to find out just exactly what it is. I caught maybe, the smallest one was maybe a pound and maybe a pound and a quarter, somewhere in that area, but it was a little butterball. It was a little fat fish that had obviously been feeding up well, so that was okay. And I think that was on that cream soft plastic jerkbait. I'm going to have to go back and look at the footage to see. But, it was one of those great days because we went with a little bit of flash. We went with a little bit of sparkle, not a whole lot of noise. There wasn't a whole lot of noise involved in our presentations. I wasn't going as loud as I could. That classical leader has some rattles in it, but it's not really, really loud. The soft plastic jerkbait obviously makes no sound at all. Probably the loudest bait we were fishing today was this, but even that, I was just twitching it and giving it pauses. So it's not like it was very brazen in the water all day long. It was a subtle change, just a little bit of flash, a little bit of brightness, just a little bit here and there to trigger those bass into a reaction strike. And it paid off very, very well. So whenever you're fishing those cloudy days, that's when you want to bring out those baits that have a little bit of shine to them. You don't need to bring out those great big spinner baits that have the, the double Colorado blades on it. Unless you're fishing like river water. If you're fishing really dark stained water, then yeah, that's when you're going to be fishing something like that. But for semi-clear, 4 or 5 foot visibility or more on a cloudy day, you don't need that. Just a little bit of sparkle, just a little bit of flash. Maybe even if you're fishing like a Senko, or a soft stick bait, maybe something that's got a little gold flake in it, just a little bit of flash, maybe something like that, that'll bring it out just a little bit. Something like that can go a long way towards attracting those bass from 15, 20 feet or more. You would be surprised. So give that a try, and I'm positive you will be more than happy with the results. So there you have it. When those clouds come out, don't be afraid to put a little flash in your bait. You don't have to get extra super loud with it. You don't need Colorado blades on your spinner unless, of course, you're fishing really muddy water. But if you're fishing clear or semi-stained water and you've got some pretty good visibility, a little bit of flash will go a long way towards attracting those bass. And you'd be surprised at the number of extra bites that you can get just by adding just a little bit of flash here and there. Thanks for watching Lowbrow Fishing. We'll catch you in the next one.